Okay, so sometimes, you come across a story and it just grabs you.
Uh-huh.
And you're just like, whoa, what's going on here? And this whole thing with Ismail Haniyeh,
Yeah.
it's one of those stories.
It's a real head scratcher.
So we're going to, today we'll just do a deep dive on this, take a look at all the, the different reports we've got. We've got accusations going back and forth between Hamas and Israel. It's a It's a complicated one.
It is.
So the basic situation, we've got Ismail Haniyeh, leader of Hamas. It's in Tehran, right? Attending this big event, Iranian president's inauguration.
Big event, yeah.
And then we hear reports he's been killed.
Yeah.
But, not just killed, it's
the circumstances.
It's the circumstances, right? It's at this veterans residence in northern Tehran.
Not where you expect, for
No, not at all.
For someone of his stature.
Yeah, so that's, immediately raises questions.
Red flags, yeah.
And, of course, right away, Hamas is blaming Israel.
Immediately, yeah, saying it was an airstrike.
Airstrike, right. And Israel, they're not confirming, but they're not exactly denying either.
They're being very careful with their words, which in itself speaks volumes,
Right.
When there's that much silence, you got to wonder what they're not saying.
Exactly. And then to make things even more interesting, you have this statement from Ismail Katz.
Oh, yeah, the defense minister.
Yeah, he's talking about threats from Yemen, the Houthis.
Mm-hmm.
But he goes beyond that. He starts talking about Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran, he's connecting all these dots.
Yeah, he's painting a picture, right, of this network of threats.
And the language he uses, it's
strong.
Strong, yeah. Decapitate, he says.
Decapitate the leadership. That's not something you hear every day, especially from someone in his position.
Right. I mean, that's not exactly diplomatic language.
No, it's a very deliberate choice of words.
So you got to wonder, right? Is he sending a message?
Oh, I think he's definitely sending a message.
What kind of message, though? Is this a shift in Israeli policy? Are they going to be more aggressive now?
It's possible. We've seen Israel take preemptive action in the past.
Right.
So this could be a sign of things to come.
And then, just days after this statement, you have the Haniyeh incident.
It's quite a coincidence, isn't it?
It's too much of a coincidence.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, you have Katz talking about decapitation, and then boom, a key leader is allegedly taken out.
So let's say, for a second, that Israel was involved.
Okay, hypothetically.
Hypothetically, yeah. Well, what would their motive be?
Well, I think it's pretty straightforward, right? Haniyeh, he is a major figure in Hamas.
Yeah.
Taking him out, that disrupts their operations, creates chaos, throws them off balance, and it sends a message not just to Hamas, but to everyone else who might be thinking of challenging Israel.
Like a show of force, basically.
Exactly. A show of force, don't mess with us kind of thing.
But these things, they always have consequences, right? What could the fallout be from something like this?
Well, first of all, you got to think about Iran.
Yeah, they're not going to be happy.
No, not at all. This could lead to retaliation, maybe even more support for groups like Hezbollah, who are already a thorn in Israel's side.
And then that could destabilize the whole region.
Exactly. It's like a domino effect. One thing leads to another, and before you know it, you've got a much bigger conflict on your hands.
So, okay, we've got this whole situation, right? We don't know for sure what happened, but we've got these pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah, we've got Katz's statement, we've got the timing, we've got the location. It's all very suspicious.
It's still very strange, right? And then the big question, what happens next?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? If this really was an Israeli operation, it changes the whole game.
How so?
Well, it shows a willingness to take more risks, to be more assertive, even if it means potentially escalating things. And that has implications for the future of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, for the whole Middle East, really.
So it's like we're watching this chess game unfold.
Exactly. And this could be a major turning point.
And we don't even know if it's checkmate yet.
No, we don't. And that's what makes this so fascinating and so worrying at the same time.
There's a lot to think about, for sure.
It is. And, what I find really interesting is how this ties into the whole idea of, covert operations in the 21st century.
Oh, how so?
Well, in the past, you could keep these things secret, under wraps.
Yeah.
But now, with social media, with instant communication, it's much harder to control the narrative.
Right. Everything gets out.
Everything gets out. So even if you succeed in, let's say, eliminating a target, there's still the question of the message you're sending, the reaction you're going to get.
It's almost like you can't just think about the tactical victory anymore.
Exactly. It's about the strategic implications, the long-term consequences.
So even if Israel did take out Haniyeh, they have to be prepared for the fallout.
Absolutely. And that fallout, it could be significant. It could reshape the entire region.
So basically, this is a story we're going to be following for a while.
Oh, yeah, this is just the beginning.
It's going to be interesting to see where it goes, that's for sure.
Definitely. And, one thing that I think everyone should be thinking about is how much do we really know about what's going on behind the scenes?
Oh, it's a good question.
Like, we get these snippets of information, these statements, these reports.
Right.
But how much of the real story are we actually seeing?
That's a great point. We're always just getting a glimpse.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to be critical, to question everything, to try and connect the dots ourselves.
Because the truth, it's often hidden in plain sight.
Sometimes, yeah, it's just a matter of knowing where to look.
Well, that's what we try to do here, right? Dig a little deeper, see what we can find.
Absolutely. And I think this case, this whole Haniyeh situation, it's a perfect example of why that's so important.
It's a real puzzle, that's for sure.
It is. And it's a puzzle that we're all going to have to try and solve together.
Well, on that note, I think we've given everyone a lot to think about.
I hope so.
It's a complex situation, but hopefully we've shed some light on it.
And maybe raised even more questions.
Always got to leave them wanting more, right?
That's the goal.
So, until next time, keep digging, keep questioning, and stay curious.
And stay tuned.
We'll see you soon.
See you later.